Oklahoma was disastrous at quarterback last Saturday, as was Auburn. It makes all the sense in the world that they play each other this Saturday. 3:30 Eastern kickoff on ABC. It kind of feels like a season on the brink sort of game for both programs. And the thing about it is one of them's got to lose. So it's going to be really, really uncomfortable. Leading up to the game, it's uncomfortable for both. Someone's going to get that giant breath. Someone's going to finally be able to release, and a little bit of the tension is let out, but someone else is going to be really, really dealing with it for the next week after this. We have got, of course, a situation at Auburn, just like at Oklahoma, where the quarterback position is very unsettled. But I want to start with Oklahoma, and I want you to answer me a question if you can. I would like for you to tell me, does anyone know Oklahoma's offensive identity? Anyone know Oklahoma's offensive identity? Because when Jeff Lebby exited to go to Mississippi State and Dylan Gabriel left to go to Oregon, it seems like that offensive identity kind of went out the door with him, and we certainly didn't learn anything. In fact, it looks like we forgot more things when we were watching them play Tennessee last week, and now Jackson Arnold's benched and Michael Hawkins Jr. is in. The 2023 to 2024 stat comparisons with Oklahoma, which are on your screen right now, are mind-boggling. If you're listening on podcast, just imagine a whole bunch of really good stuff in 2023 and a whole bunch of stuff in the 100s in 2024. Okay, so that's the bad news. The good news is it's early. That may not be good news, though. It could just mean a whole lot more, like 2 months more of the same. Oklahoma's a really good program, though, man. Or is it really just going to go down like this all year? Michael Hawkins Jr., when he came in last week, I was standing on the field. I felt that sudden jolt of energy around the stadium. You got to bottle that up. You got to bottle it up. You got to take it on the road. He needs to get them 17 points in this game, I think. Because if I'm Oklahoma and I've watched the Auburn film, Auburn's turned the ball over 2 times or more in half a dozen straight games at this point. I'm counting on them. Defensively and special teams, if I'm Oklahoma, I'm counting on my guys to get me at least 7 in aggregate. So if I can get them 17 and I can get 7 more from somewhere, 24 better be enough. Like, I'm taking this defense on the road. I think it travels. Auburn's been really, really discombobulated. I'm going to roll the dice that 24 is good enough. And if it's not, oh well, tip your cap to Hugh Freeze and Auburn. But if he can find 17 offensively, so that's not tough. Shouldn't be tough. If I can find 17, rest of the team gives me 7, 24, is that good enough for Oklahoma? It better be. Hugh Freeze, this week, talking to the media down there at Auburn, saying, I don't think we need to change anything. See, they've been talking to him about how something may be wrong with him. Something may be wrong with his scheme, with his system, with the players he has, all different things. And to his credit, he's stood firm. He's saying, I just think that if we don't continually give the ball to the other team, we'll be okay. We'll be fine. Like, what we're doing is the same thing we've done and won with in the past at other stops. So, no, I'm not really changing anything. I just kind of hope we find an answer and not turn the ball over repeatedly. He's right, because they've thrown 8 interceptions in their 2 losses this season. 8 in 2 losses. Pate Thorne, Hank Brown, they've both gotten their shot this year, and neither of them have lit the world on fire. My guess, and this is just a guess, is that Pate Thorne may get the start Saturday. I don't even know what that's worth, and that's certainly not finalized or anything like that. But Tennessee, here's one ray of hope that I would give you if I'm trying to sell you on Auburn here. Tennessee did not score on long drives against Oklahoma last week. They popped them explosively a couple of times. Auburn is 6th in the country, somehow, offensively, in plays of 20-plus yards. So they have explosive potential as long as it's their guy that catches the ball or it's their guy who holds on to the ball. There is a principle in play here that's going to play into my pick. In fact, Colin, let's go ahead and put the model up, and I'll tell you what FanDuel has. FanDuel has Oklahoma as a 2.5-point road favorite right now. Now, the model is right out of Pick'em. Same thing it did with Bama, Georgia. It's right out of Pick'em. I don't like true freshman quarterbacks on the road behind a shaky offensive line. There are 2 elements there I don't like. The offensive line I don't trust, a quarterback I don't know anything about, and it's Oklahoma's first trip on the road, period, this year, much less an SEC play. And they got a fairly beat-up wide receiver group as well. So it is certainly for It is certainly through no credit to Auburn's offense to this point this year that I have any confidence in them. I don't have confidence in either one of them. I just have a little bit less confidence in Oklahoma going on the road with those sorts of elements in play. So I want you to watch me close my eyes. I'm taking Auburn to win the game. Eyes are closed, heart is full. I'm taking Auburn to win the game. And afterwards, I don't know, man. Afterwards, it feels really shaky for Oklahoma. Auburn, who knows? It's one of these teams could go on a run. Like, you never know. Let's just say I'm wrong. Let's say Michael Hawkins goes in there and they beat Auburn 27-13. They could have the same kind of vibe that A&M did around their backup going in and beating Florida convincingly. So you never know. Don't be writing teams off in September. Meemaw always warned me against that. Don't be doing that. As easy as it may seem for both of these teams.